Yo, what is going on, party people? It's your boy Shadow King. Yeah, I'm back on camera. It's been a while, but we're back, and for a very obvious reason. 9 straight episodes of pure cinema. My God, Daredevil season 4 or 1 or Daredevil Born Again, whatever you want to call it, has come to an end, and we gotta talk about it. I am, of course, joined today by the homies. And next to me is the corner. This way. It's Joe.
No, no,
Almost. You had it the other way.
Well, down there is Nick.
no.
Hey, Red.
Well, just introduce yourself, guys.
Well, take it away, Joe. You can go first.
Oh, I was waiting on you to introduce yourself.
Oh,
What's going on,
good.
guys? Show Guy Joe here. You can also find me over on Twitch on a Joe Italian last name. Co-host of the Get Bit Podcast, Word Nerd Podcast, where we talk about everything, and then I force everybody to sit through comic reviews. Also, a lot of lasers and robots over at Total Justice Gaming.
Very nice. Also,
Yeah.
I am casually cosplaying, aka Nick. Obviously, cosplayer. You can see the logo in the background. That might be something that comes out this weekend. Not the shirt, the vest itself. MTAC, what's up?
No, I want to see you in the shirt.
The shirt's for a homemade Spider-Man that's coming down the line, but or at least that's the pattern for it. Working on it, slowly
Is
but
it
surely.
Pete Spitterman? Professional grill master?
It is. It's for a homemade suit, as if what I would do if Spider-Man was thrown into the world, and if I was bitten, how would I make the suit? So I have fabric below somewhere under there that has webbing already on it. So I'll just work it through that. The red is just kind of outline, make the pattern, that kind of thing. But cosplayer, all around nerd. Used to do podcasting on my own. Glad Shadow got me to get back into a little bit with him, and just love music, movies, a little bit of video gaming. Used to do some Twitch. That might come back at some point. Who knows? But other than that, it's pretty much it about me.
And I, of course, am he who rules shadows, the kingpin of shadows, if you will. And it's great to see you again. It's not entirely pleasant to see you all again today. Right here.
Just don't embarrass him in front of Vanessa.
Now I don't need a car door.
I love that we have our two contradicting people.
Let's just hop right into it, guys. Okay. First, before we do actually hop into it, so we're going to talk the majority about Daredevil today. Last night's episode was the season 1 finale. It's technically season 4, but it's also the reboot, so it's Daredevil Born Again season 1. And it is going to get a season 2. We've already seen plenty of leaks. I'm kind of 50-50 on those. And then we're going to a little bit towards the end. We'll talk a little bit about Wrestlemania and the upcoming cards, and just talk about like the matches we think who's going to win, who's not going to win, all that stuff. That is the structure for this episode. We should be no an hour really. But we gotta talk. We gotta talk because Kingpin is on 20 in this season in the most subdued way ever. Let's talk about it.
He lost 20 first.
Yeah, he lost 20, then like
gained
all of
30.
like all of us, he found a way to sneak his meals and have little cheat meals. This time in the presence of a certain someone we'll talk about. But yeah, no. The opening to this season, all the way to the closing, was just non-stop. Just my God. So, what were you guys? We'll start with Joe. What were you guys' initial take of the entire season?
In the grand scheme of things, I only liked it. There was a lot wrong with me on this. The first episode I thought is, damn, he won't be in Mighty Ducks 4.
Oh,
How could they do that to us? Our
And
boy.
then I realized Mighty Ducks 4 was a television series. So damn, he won't be in Mighty Ducks 5.
Our avocado.
So, like I
Avocado.
said,
The best boy.
I did not enjoy this as much as you two. I thought it was still good.
Okay.
I thought certain things, since we knew that this was going into 2 seasons, I thought certain storylines wrapped up far too quickly. To this day, I still don't know why this is called Born Again when this is clearly taking from the Charles Soule Back in Black and the Chip Zdarsky Devil's Reign storyline and has absolutely nothing to do with the Born Again storyline whatsoever. So I think that's bizarrely misnamed.
I would
can
say it's
kind of
named
understand
that
why
just
Disney.
due to
Huh?
Disney was like I would say it's along the lines of, hey,
So
we
I
got
thought
fully
that,
the
and then
rights
I
back.
saw this episode and what we can show on television in this episode. So no, being called Devil's Reign is probably perfectly fine with Disney. Plus, I can also go over to the Hulu section and watch Alien Romulus on Disney Plus. So
Yeah, but no, I'm saying I
Right.
think they named it Born Again as like a, hey, we're rebooting, soft reboot Daredevil because we fully got the rights back. So screw you, Netflix.
it could be
He's
called
born again.
Devil's Reign. This could be called Devil's Reign because this is mostly for the Kingpin and not so much Daredevil this season. So yeah, this could have been called Devil's
Well, I
Reign.
mean, we're also talking about an MCU that consistently picks names out of stories that have nothing to do with the story, like Age of Ultron. That had nothing to do with the actual Age of Ultron story in the comic.
The week of Ultron.
You know, we
But,
make fun
the
of
2
that, but that
days
sets up so much stuff and is actually one of the most
It does.
important MCU movies there are.
it does.
but like
That's-
I'm talking in the sense of just name wise, like
Yes, I know.
we're getting a brand new day for Spider-Man for the next one coming up, and clearly
Okay,
that's
I mean,
not.
so
I
that
mean, it's
means
going to take
Marissa Tomei's
snippets from it, but
I mean, that just means Marissa Tomei's going to come back because he's going to talk to
please
Mephisto.
God, as much as I love Marissa Tomei and I am a Seinfeld fan, but
no,
like,
so like I said, I only really liked it because I felt like they wrapped up storylines way too quickly
okay,
when we knew for a fact that this was going to be a two-season event. So we wrapped up Muse far too quickly. I understand why we had to wrap up the White Tiger stuff because of the actor. God rest him. But ending Muse that quickly seemed counterproductive from my perspective. And then we're moving directly into the Devil's Reign storyline. We have Frank. We don't get to have Frank make one of his most iconic speeches ever in the season finale, which was a huge misstep in my opinion. But again, in the grand scheme of
which
things,
monologue are you talking about? You're talking
the
about
one where he just tells the cops that I'm a horrible role model and you need to be looking at Captain America.
I mean, I think he got his point across more physically than verbally.
It's a verbal thing for Frank because that's what makes it so poignant is that Frank is not a talk first, shoot later kind of guy, which is why I thought that was a misstep. This is probably would have been the only time that I think Frank would have actually maybe tried, because this is a Frank that does actually try, and since he didn't try this time around and didn't give that speech, and this is me being a little bit fixated on the comic, but you have the opportunity, you did not take it.
Understandable.
But again, in the grand scheme of things, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as you two because I see the flaws where they try to adapt the comic and fail. I see where they bring in characters and poorly adapt them. Again, this is the MCU. This is not the comic universe. I am not that strict on that, but there are certain elements that should have been elongated because we are a 2-season show, and they did not step up in that manner.
Well, you know what the problem is, right? Like we all know the underlying issue. This show was redone.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, I could definitely
And
just from the
so-
first 2 episodes, I could tell those were added in. So it's 9 episodes. It was 18 originally. They cut it down to 9, and the entire original script was completely different. I think the first 2 episodes were added in, and then 3 was supposed to be 1 and just go from there.
So
that's exactly what it was.
I actually only watched 8 episodes because I was unaware 1 week 2 episodes came out, so I've never seen the bank episode.
Oh, that's a great episode.
It's a good one. It's a funny one.
It's on St. Patrick's
Um,
Day.
yeah.
So
No,
I
so
was unaware of
and
that.
obviously, and well, let's talk about that real quick. 'Cause that does, look, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but like Joe, I do see the underlying issues.
Mhm.
I do wonder what this show would have been had they not gone back and redone it. Obviously, I believe the Muse subplot would have lasted longer because that's what they were going for. And of course, with it being what 18 episodes.
Yes, originally 18,
Yeah, yes,
and it was going to
originally
be
18 episodes.
fully like TVMA
So
rated R, which it
yeah,
still was, but obviously,
yeah, this would have been. So yeah, no, I'm in agreement that while I loved it, this definitely hindered it. In reshooting it and just splitting it up into a season two. This should have been like the break. Well, basically, it's not even really a season two. 'Cause honestly, you can consider this the mid-season break, and then when it comes back, it'll pick right back
yeah,
up where it left off. So
they're
I don't
already
really
like
even
way
consider it
into
like a season
production.
two. Right. So my thing about it is, I do wish we could have seen the original Vision and the full 18 episodes and just let it take its time. Honestly, that's and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's gonna say it. That's been my biggest gripe sometimes when it comes to the MCU shows on Disney Plus. Give them more time to breathe.
Yeah,
Let them
my
have
so
more episodes.
you want to know what it was? Because I could tell you what it was. The original, I mean, I don't know if it was the original 18 episodes, but the original 9 or 8 or 7 that it was going to be before it became the
Hmm.
9 that it is now. It was just
Yeah.
going to be a law or a court drama that halfway through uh you would have gotten Matt finally becoming Daredevil. He became Daredevil what, episode 3 or 4 out of the 9? So it was close to halfway.
Uh, about about five, honestly, like about five.
Well, suiting up, yes, but like him going to the bank and everything, that's like 4 or 5, one of the two.
Well, yeah,
But like if you're talking about him considering going back to Daredevil, that would have at least been the halfway point in the original concept from what I've been hearing. And
yeah,
what I read was like everyone hated the fact that they were like, we came here for Daredevil and you're just giving us mopey Matt for like half a season and then okay, now he's Daredevil again. And also Foggy's death would have been off camera, not even part of the story. It just would have been like episode 1 opens up and he's like, yeah, Foggy's dead. Also Karen too.
yeah.
I think they were gonna kill both of them off.
So yeah, it was definitely a lot in the original that would have obviously been an issue, and maybe these reshoots were definitely needed. But again, did you need to cut it up into or split it up into two
Right.
seasons when
I
you could have
agree
just
on
done a
that.
mid-season break? That being said, we did get obviously the two added on episodes and the death of Foggy and just that visceral emotion from Matt and the story behind him, Karen and Bullseye and all that stuff, and him basically like hey, like justice won't be served here because he'll be alive and my friend won't, and him having to struggle with that. That is definitely did we lose Joe? What happened? He'll be back. But that definitely seeing his struggle with like crossing the line, and he all he even says at the end he wanted to kill Bullseye. He pushed him
Oh
down
yeah.
with the thought in mind of I'm going to end you just like you did my friend. And we've always seen Matt struggle with that in the last 3 seasons. To see him finally do it, and the reason that he is doing it, and then having him be basically struggle with that for the entire season of like, do I cross the line? Do I do what Frank does? Am I doing it because of Foggy? Am I doing it because I'm just so angry? I feel like getting that story and the struggle, and then of course not only struggling with that, but struggling with the fact that he failed. He fails a lot in this season. Think about it. He he won. He got um Hector off, and he still died.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's
also he was always supposed to die in the show. I don't think
yeah.
there was anything more to that. I don't think they filmed more as far as I know.
No.
I think he
Um,
was done filming everything and then he
yeah,
passed.
yeah. Due to the nature of the comic that was pulled from, he
Mhm.
was always not going to make it. I just um, and obviously it played well into Matt's story, and God rest the actor's soul. But it's two Catmen that we've lost. I'm tired of losing our cat people. Stop it.
These are true.
Um, but that also gives agency to. They're going with Angela. I personally would have gone with Ava Ayala, that because she's my
Okay.
favorite White Tiger. But they're going with Angela, who is young
Well, I
enough
mean,
to be.
Ava is his other sister, right?
Yeah, but if it's his sister, I'm sure she might be a little older
Well, yeah, yeah.
than what she is,
I
and
was ready for the White Tiger
and
to break out of the Brooklyn Zoo and just become the new White Tiger.
true. But this leaves Angela. She's the right age to join the champions team. That the champions are coming.
Yes.
Don't ever forget that.
Champions, Young
Champions.
Avengers, whatever you want to call them.
Well, there's a IDMB page for the title of champions. So they're going to be called, or at least the show will be, or the movie will be called Champions, and they'll toss between Young Avengers and Champions, or they'll probably start out being called Young Avengers and realize they can't use it, so they'll be called
Yeah.
Champions. So that's coming. It's coming, but now
Which I
we
wonder
just
how
keep
that plays
adding members.
into Spider-Man 4, considering a major part of the champions is Miles.
Well, I mean,
Mm,
they probably just won't do anything with that. I mean,
OG champions, yes,
it'll
but
be
not new champions. New
yeah,
champions, Miles isn't that big a part.
it'll it'll be called champions, but it's really just Young Avengers with
Yeah.
like some champion
There'll be
members. So and
Scar. Yeah.
it'll be led by K Bishop. They already confirmed that. So
And Kamala.
well, mainly Kate though. Like
Yeah.
that's what they
Well,
like
she's the oldest.
stated
It seems
will
like.
will lead it. Yeah. Really Kamala is basically the gatherer right now. She's the one going around getting people. But overall, so yeah, having Hector die, having Angela, get his medallion, that definitely sets that up. And like I said, it goes back to the failure part. He won the court drama. He failed to keep Hector alive. Um, and then obviously he has felt some kind of way about Fisk being the mayor. So even that can be considered a big failure because now he knows that he's gonna take a lot more to just get there and just really touch him. Like last season, and God, I love that fight in the penthouse. That is one of my favorite fights and favorite speeches. But that kind of confrontation just can't happen anymore. Because he is so well guarded, and now he is doing everything. And I'm using hella air quotes here, legally. He just can't be touched. Which you mean, God, Fisk, smart. This was the smart, and that's what I love about Fisk because as much as you take him down, or as much as you try to put stuff on him, so he'll always get out of it, and he'll always come back with a plan to be above that thing that took him down or almost got him in the first place. I mean, this isn't the second time he's taken over a police force. Dude took over the FBI in season 3.
Now he
Now
just created his own.
now he is legally the mayor. He was voted in by the people, and now he can fully control these people because that's his actual job. So like it definitely just piles and piles of failure on top of Matt, and we see a lot of that this season. Obviously, he didn't fail in one area that he just excels in.
Getting women.
Being an absolute man whore, which
stud.
show that. But got him another baddie. who's a therapist. So that's a whole nother thing to unpack.
Hey, as much as yes, Batty, just clarifying for everybody, I am all here for the Heather hate.
Yeah, definitely later towards the. And obviously, I feel like they will play with that more next season because
It's gonna be a love triangle.
they didn't officially break up, but I mean,
Taking a
she
job with
is
Fisk, I mean,
she is feeling some kind of way about obviously
yeah.
she has to really process. My blind boyfriend moved faster than I've ever seen him to block a bullet.
Not only that, but just the
And
face he made when
yeah,
he goes, well, yeah, Daredevil saved you from Muse. She goes, no, I saved me. They were just there
Bert.
for themselves. He's like, bitch.
So yeah, no, I definitely feel like that's gonna play heavily in season two. I'm excited to see what that does. Like I said, I've not read the runs that this season is really based
She's
off
another
of.
missed opportunity.
And
What's
do
that?
what?
Joe, what
Huh?
was that?
She's another missed opportunity.
How so?
She should have been revealed to be Typhoid Mary.
But they already did
Wait,
Typhoid Mary in what
wait,
was that, Iron Fist?
wait. Heather is Typhoid Mary in the comics.
Yeah, she's part of the Born Again storyline.
Are there two Typhoid Marys?
Yeah, because isn't there a Mary that is
Typhoid
Typhoid
Mary's
Mary?
like 4 different people.
So there's been multiple ones. That makes sense.
I mean,
And
maybe that
multiple
happens in
personalities.
season 2.
And she personally
Do I-
makes herself look different depending on what Mary she is.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
that makes sense.
you,
They did do it. What? Was it in Jessica Jones or Iron Fist? I think it was Iron Fist.
Nobody saw Iron Fist. Don't do that to us.
I watched it all.
It was.
Okay, I enjoyed
It was
Iron
one.
Fist.
It was one of them. I want to say Iron Fist.
I'm looking it up right now, so we have it.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, that might have been a missed opportunity, and who knows if they might be even setting up for that. So it might be missed now, but it might be coming back later. But having her be now directly under Fisk as the head mental health thing, which evil as he is, putting someone that qualified in a position to help people with mental health,
Yeah.
kudos Fisk. Obviously, it's really just him keeping control over something that Matt loves, but you know.
And confirmed, Typhoid Mary was used in Iron Fist season 2, played by Alice Eve, who was Mary Walker.
Okay.
And also to clarify, the actor who played Hector is Camar de los Reyes.
Yes, rest in peace. Yeah. So, all that to be said, watching a 9-episode season. I mean, obviously we've seen Daredevil struggle with his failures before. It's not the first time, but a lot has definitely changed. And so seeing, and here's the thing. As of the last episode, this is technically 2027, April 2027 in the MCU. This is right before Captain America, Brave New World.
Oh.
Yes. This is right before it. And so like I think literally this the whole martial art everything would have happened maybe if I have my timeline right, maybe a week or around the same time that Falcon is getting the adamantium and going back. So it's all happening congruently around the same time.
Yeah.
Which
like
is why
Hawkeye
there was
and
no
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Which is why there was no mention of Red Hulk in this. So that's why you can call that like, oh well, there's no mention of or stuff outside.
I'm surprised they didn't even mention a president, but
right, and obviously that's why, because nothing of note has happened with the president yet.
Right.
It's about to happen. I
You know
do
what
like
else
that they
didn't
mentioned.
happen? To clarify the ending where he's like, martial law and all vigilantes or whatever. The fuck Peter doing? Just sitting at home eating Ben and Jerry's?
That's actually my next point. I'm glad they did mention Spider-Man. Now
He
there was
did.
an article I read the other day. Um, there is a reason why
Yeah.
Kingpin cannot appear in any films,
Damn you, Sony.
and it's Sony's fault. Yeah, it's Sony's
So
fault, and so
originally, Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain. He was originally
yes,
introduced in the Spider-Man comic, and then later on went up against Daredevil. So
yeah,
contractually, live actions in particular, because animation they could do pretty much whatever. Movies, I think Sony has the rights to, but animation, television, Disney has the rights to, which is why you're seeing this new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Go watch that; it's amazing.
it's
Um,
amazing.
but live action wise, it's not just Kingpin. So Kingpin can interact with Spider-Man, but he has to only interact with Spider-Man in the movie, and it has to be agreed upon by both parties. Daredevil cannot appear in that. Same way goes for Daredevil. If he wants to go up against Kingpin, Spider-Man can't show up in that. You can reference it, but you can't show him. Like if there's a web or like somebody webbed to a wall, but you don't see Spider-Man, that's allowed.
Which
Just like,
is
for
why we
example,
never saw.
yeah, for example, Jessica Drew has been a name that's been thrown around recently in the MCU of like, are we going to get her? Is she going to be part of Shield or Sword? Is there going to be this or that? Jessica Drew, because she is a Spider-Woman, although she's not related to Spider-Man in any way, shape, or form, the Spider-Woman persona goes to Sony. Jessica Drew, the secret agent, goes to Disney.
Yep.
Which is, in my opinion, bullshit. I'm just like, come on, guys, what are we at now? Like, we're able to use the Hulk in movies, but we can't make our own Hulk movie because of Universal. Like, if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm like, left arm, left leg, take them. Let's do this. Spider-Man's back.
It's been long enough. I honestly don't know why that hasn't happened yet. I mean, we finally got full rights back to X-Men. Cool, we're getting them back. Sony has continuously failed.
And they
As
already have
enjoyable,
closed down their universe. Venom with The Last Dance was the final Universal movie. And they were like, that's it. We're not making any more. We're focusing on animation and
then
working with Marvel to do Tom Holland movies. I'm like, thank you.
then give
Thank you.
us don't work with them. Give it to us back. Clearly, you're not doing well.
Yeah. Keep animation if you really want it that badly.
Yeah, keep animation. That's honestly, you kind of excel at that. That's fine. It's great. But for the live action
Maybe
movies,
not the
for the
actor choice.
love of God, give us the full rights to everything Spider-Man in film, so that we're about to get Brand New Day. It's coming,
Yeah.
and there's still a lot that Disney can't do unless Sony okays it. And what I've loved a web flip through the city or some small inkling outside of just a mention would have been great.
Look what they
But
did
we
in
all know,
'97. We had a voiceless cameo. You heard like a thwip, and then like was there? I forget if there was spider sense or not, but it was like he just goes like, and then it cuts away.
There was Spidey Sense, and then we saw him unmasked with Mary Jane.
Yes.
At the end. So, and you saw how hype that got the internet. Like, yeah, what? So
give me Spider-Man '98.
Yeah.
It is '98. Technically,
Yeah,
it went off the air.
it'd be
98.
Yeah, it'd be 98 too. But yeah, so like would it have been great to see it? Yeah, but obviously we know why. Let's also talk about Punisher too.
My boy.
Originally, we probably would have never seen him in this.
Probably that. Well, so the whole scene with him bearded in his little bunker, taking his meds because he's older and in pain, that would have still be in. I don't know if the final episode Frank would have been in this season. That might have maybe played into season 2, is my guess, but we definitely would have gotten bearded Frank going like, I do not have time for your superhero bullshit.
Dude, look, no matter if they're fighting each other or they're fighting against other people, when they talk, when they have a full blown conversation, it is just pure gas every time.
Oh, Johnny
The season
Bernthal
2
is like the perfect casting for Frank, my
the
beautiful
season
Italian boy.
2 conversation on the roof, and this season 4 conversation in the bunker, pure, unadulterated cinema, bro. Like, and
Those are just an
to
older
be able
sibling
to
talking to a
do that,
younger sibling.
do what?
It's just an older sibling talking to a younger sibling. That's all it is.
Pretty
It's
much,
just
like,
big brother Frank talking to little brother, talking to young hopeful little brother Daredevil.
I got more experience than you. Listen to me. I've seen
and
this shit.
I mean, and having him bring up, like, having him make Matt so emotional, bringing up Foggy, and then that Daredevil swung on Frank, and Frank did not put a bullet in him. That.
I don't know if it was a pimp or a bitch slap, but he slapped the shit out of him. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, nah. It's
Nah,
the only real thing you've done so far.
Yeah, it's not like, bro, like first of all, for you not to be dead right now, he must really actually like you. 2, he knows why you're here. Give it permission. And so, like, just that whole conversation, like, literally, I can go back and watch that whole episode.
Yeah.
Just for that. But yeah, I'm interested to see what we get with Frank. I mean, obviously, we're getting a presentation episode. So yeah. And then,
which I'm very excited for.
And then he'll be in season 2. So we'll definitely. I mentioned, obviously, him. First of all, hi. If you have freaking Castle captured, if you somehow, some way, manage to capture that man, don't just put 2 measly handcuffs on him to where he can still move.
Let me shake your hand.
Wrap up every single part of that man's body.
You put him in a straitjacket.
Man, he tie that man up to where he can't move. All he needs to be able to do is breathe. That's it. Because I saw that coming a mile away. As soon as he said, "Hey man, what's your name?" Game over. Game over.
Which, yet again, another Jersey represent.
I was like, bro, this is ridiculous. First of all, you should have known that was going to happen. 2, just don't do that. Talk to prisoners.
Which the entire episode alone, the penthouse fight, the fight of Punisher versus the Dirty Guards, the Kingpin against Gallo himself, all of that. There's a reason why I'm wearing an Austin 316 shirt tonight. Because there was whooped ass.
That gave me a splitting headache.
Well, you?
No, dude, that was just so brutal. And if you think about it, it's a more brutal version of what Wanda did to Professor X in Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But with this time we actually saw the full gore. And the penthouse fight, which, and I recently just watched it again. It's not clear if the task force knows that Matt is Daredevil. All they know is that their boss has sent them to take this man out. Now, instead of him instead of him already just being in the penthouse ready to fight, it was smart for Matt to drop in as Daredevil, so it can be assumed that, oh, this is just Daredevil coming in to save this one guy, and oh crap, Punisher's here too. Yeah, that was smart. Now again, because of how how things are played and how things are said, like, we know that Fisk's right hand man, I think it's Buck or whatever, he knows.
Yes.
because he went to go kill that man in the hospital. But it's not. I don't think Cole. No, I don't think anybody on the task force. No, I think the one guy that Matt beat up earlier in the season, he may have an inkling because he got beat by a blind man. But I don't believe they fully know. If they do, then you know.
Yeah. Well, the only
And,
thing that is known, I think, other than obviously they were authorized to go capture/kill Matt Murdock, is the fact that I think Cole North was still awake when Frank says to Matt in the Daredevil suit, "You blind son of a bitch," or something like that. There's something along the lines of he said blind, and I was like, "Bro."
right.
Like you're
Well,
calling him red at least, but like knock the guy out first before you say it.
Well, I mean, he was pretty knocked out, and I think he might have some injuries because they blew that thing up.
Oh yeah. Well, I do know he's
They
alive still. Only just
he's
because
in
of
season 2.
set
Yeah,
photos.
yeah.
Which
So
my buddy just met him. I think at either like I don't know if it was a geek bar or like an event to watch like the finale or whatever. But he went fully suited up in the not Shadowlands. What's the one with the red boots? Is that all new, all different? Joe would know this
I
more
think
than me. Black
What's the
suit,
question?
Daredevil, black suit, red boots, red gloves.
That's the Charles Red back in black suit.
Thank you. Back in black. He
That's
went
where
in
he
the back.
actually takes up the assistant blind spot, and that's where Muse comes from.
Yep. So my buddy suited up in the back in black suit, went to this bar for I guess either like a watch party of the finale yesterday or just to like meet the guy at like a geek bar or something like that. And he got a picture with him in New York. I'm like, or
nice.
either New York or Jersey. I know he lives in Jersey, so I'm like, motherfucker, like that. Come on, that's awesome. So he met Cole North.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and to clarify, Buck, who Daredevil or Kingpin's right hand man, is Buck Cashman, aka Bullet, in the comics.
Yeah. So good call for the Easter egg. Good job there. Let's see what else. Okay. Let's talk about Muse, and I mean Joe definitely gave some of his opinions earlier. Nick, how do you feel about the way Muse was handled?
I liked it. I do agree that it felt like short, like we didn't have enough time with him. Especially his time with Heather. I would have liked to see at least maybe one or two more sessions with her to really build up that relationship, because you see him in the beginning of the season talk to her. She's like, find your outlet or whatever. Like, you need to express yourself and, love yourself or whatever, essentially. And then he's like, oh, bloody art. And like, that's how he goes down the line and then comes back to her at like, what is that, episode 6, 7? Whatever it was. So, and then, the whole attack and then he dies. So like within that, let's say 6 episode span, we could have had at least one other meeting or, one other session with her where he's sitting there and maybe he seems a little more erratic. He's talking about people always staring at him or like appreciating his art or something along those lines. Maybe it's right after the scene where the two girls are like, "Are you Muse? Can we get a picture with you?" Like, which is ripped right out of the comics.
Yeah.
Also, he's not. Why is he not a mutant in this?
Why is a mutant? Well, he was just a guy at first, and then he dies, and then later in the comics, he gets supernatural powers.
No, he's a mutant.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, they still haven't fleshed out.
Yeah, I know in the comics though, like after he dies, he gets supernatural powers. So we could be getting Muse back, is my guess, down the road. I have a whole theory on season 2. We can get into that whenever you're ready. But you let me know when you're ready. But it consists of a lot of what Joe's been saying of there's less Muse than we should have gotten, and also book titles.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, we've talked about pretty much everything, or just the initial thoughts and some of the Easter eggs and everything. We can go ahead and talk about season 2. Spend a little time on that. and what we think's going to happen, and then we'll go into the WrestleMania part of it. So,
All right.
but
This
real quick,
Go ahead.
before we get to that, before we hop into our thoughts and stuff that we definitely know about season 2, real quick, shout out to our homie Anthony Mills, Mind Blowing Effects on Instagram. It is his birthday today. Shout out to the homie, man.
He turned 74.
Oh, I was say 69, but that's just me. But dude, happy birthday, man. We hope you have had the best day ever. We'll see you soon, and yeah, man.
We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah,
I've never heard of him. I
Yeah.
thought we were celebrating Rich Black's birthday.
The General. We're celebrating the General's birthday, General Mills.
I eat
oh,
only a little bit of his cereal.
I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and kick off Daredevil season 2 talk.
Yeah.
With your theory, Nick.
Okay, so obviously there's set photos. There's been set photos of, it's not the black suit. It's looking more in detail. It's the red suit that he wore in this season, repainted. There's parts of it that are showing red, like it's, bleeding through, like it worn off or whatever. Horns and everything's red. It's just wearing off the black. But the red DD is back. We got the double Ds, finally. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
Here's my pitch, because I watched a video today about it, sent it to a buddy of mine. And shout out BD, Brandon Davis, and FaZe Hero.
yeah. What up, BD?
FaZe Hero did an interview with the directors, and BD asked the directors of the final episode, when Matt at the end says we need an army, and then they open the doors of Josie's, and it's the cops and everybody else who's on his side, the local people. There's a reason they went with that and not like, here's the defenders here to help you, because it would have meant less for heroes to be there and be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we got all these tanks, we win. So it's the showing of New York's got your back. We are Team Daredevil. We are New York. We're going to defeat Kingpin.
Yeah.
So I like that. What I think, instead of defenders, because I think, maybe a defender or two might show up in season 2. Maybe we get Kristen Ritter back, or Mike Coulter. I obviously think one or both of them are coming back.
With the baby. Please, both of them.
I would like
together
that.
with the baby,
But
please.
we can build on that relationship first and then get the baby, because I'm cool with that.
They've boned. They've had
They've
coffee
boned.
before.
They've had coffee, but they ended things, and he was going to end up with Claire until he became a crime lord.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me have this, Nick.
Oh, I want it too. Believe me, I want it. I just like to build that. So I think the army is not the defenders. Other than obviously the New Yorkers, I think the army is what we get in Devil's Reign and everything else. I think Matt brings back to New York the Hand.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said it, because that is exactly what I want to happen. Jeez. Going back out of the Marvel universe real quick and going to Arrowverse. I mean, basically the same thing happened in season 3. Arrow got inscripted into the League of Assassins, and basically, if he had just taken the job and become Ra's al Ghul, dude, you could have made them do your mission without killing everybody. Honestly, I want a superhero season of that. I need a hero with an army at his disposal, doing what needs to be done.
Now,
And God, having the Hand joined hand in hand with Daredevil as their leader, fighting against the corrupt forces of New York.
Yeah.
I need it.
yes.
I need it.
I also think so. My whole pitch, other than that's what I think is going to happen. But my pitch would be break up with Heather. He somewhat gets back together with Karen, but they break up at some point again, because the whole thing with the hand and him and Devil's Reign and everything, I want, as much as I know Sony at the moment won't allow it, Kevin, I will do something for you. I don't know what. You need me to go assassinate somebody. You didn't hear it from me.
We're on YouTube.
You didn't hear it from me. But this is not video evidence. Whatever it needs to be done, Sony, Marvel, call me. But I want a direct ripoff from the comic book, shot for shot. You know, as he is slowly getting more and more with the hand, working through this AVTF and defeating the task force, he's getting more and more corrupted. He's becoming less and less of himself. He said it twice within this first season. I wanted to kill what you call Bullseye. I almost did. And to Frank, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Say it enough times. What are you trying to say here? You want to.
Mm-hmm. You want to. Yeah, it's obvious.
He's going to get more and more corrupted to the point where maybe he takes a life. I want right at that moment when he takes a life, he goes back to his penthouse to bandage himself up, sitting right there waiting for him, Spider-Man. And he looks him dead in the eyes. I'm going to pull this up because I sent it to my buddy. I will read it to you because it is the end-all be-all.
Is this from the end of the hand arc in Daredevil?
I believe so. So basically, it's Spider-Man in the shadows watching him, and Peter just steps out of the shadows and he goes, "I followed you. Normally, I'd never be able to follow you, but you're clearly not yourself." And then he goes, "You shouldn't be." And he goes, "Don't worry. I didn't look through your mail. I didn't snoop. I don't know who you are. And I'm not just talking about your identity. You killed a man. I've been there. It's horrible. I've had a lot. I've had to do a lot of soul searching after. Had to learn to be better at this, better at what we do. But what did you do next? You terrorized your neighborhood. You fist fight cops. And I just came from your latest sloppy fight where our buddies had to save your butt. You're a mess. You're in trouble and on a suicide mission. And I'm here to tell you, you're done."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Yeah. Give me serious, grounded, street level Spider-Man looking at Daredevil straight in the face and saying, "Hey, you fucked up. Knock it off. Or I'm going to put you down."
Much as I would love that.
Thanks, Sony, for nothing.
Friggin' Sony. It's never now, and you know, someone may be writing something like this later on down the line. But if let's say an Andrew Garfield had continued to be Spider-Man, seeing a friend.
You're back now.
Seeing a more grizzled veteran Spider-Man, seeing a friend that he knows should be doing that, do something like that.
Yeah,
that would have been hella cool. But obviously, this is because it's called Brand New Day. We're getting essentially a new-ish Spider-Man. Like it's Spider-Man we know his face, we know his costume. But he's new in life, man. It's his new life. He's in the place where he has nothing to his name.
Yeah.
He's struggling.
He wants to be Spider-Man more than he wants to be Peter. My dream is please put him in ESU. And then he's terrified of making new friends because it'll either one be people that from other universes have either died because of him, Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy, etc. Or he's like, I don't want to put them in jeopardy either way.
Yeah. And we can definitely, so let's put a pin in that because I do want to dedicate a full episode talking about Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man as a whole, but also definitely talk about what could possibly be happening for Brand New Day. That being said, we have 10 minutes left. Take a very, 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 very short break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Wrestlemania. But Joe, do you have any notes or comments about season 2 of Daredevil?
Oh, I haven't looked at any of the leagues. As for hopes, I do hope we get some of the defenders. I do hope. I doubt we'll see Spider-Man, but maybe something
One
that
can
ties
dream.
into Thunderbolts.
If it ties into Thunderbolts, I'm cool with that. I mean, we get some characters from there mixed in.
Well, yeah, because it's a bunch of people in New York who are finna die, so
Yeah.
who are gonna get voided. So
Also, the
please
task force
mention
to enforce
something.
the martial law was the Fisk version of the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
Yeah,
that's where
I remember that.
Taskmaster comes from.
Yeah. So all right, well, cool. Again, very short break, and we'll spend the rest of this time talking about WrestleMania. I will be right back.
And while we wait, I'm just going to pull up the full match cards so that way we have them. There we go.
It's not a real good match card this year.
I kind of like where it's going. I think there's definitely some things that need to be added, but we could talk about that when Shadow gets back.
This is a Doofenshmirtz scenario of if I had a nickel for every time WrestleMania was in Vegas and mildly underwhelming, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's odd that it's happened twice.
Mm. Wait, when was Mania in Vegas last time?
WrestleMania 9.
Was it really? Oh my god.
I want to say it was WrestleMania 9. It was the Yokozuna versus...
Yeah, it's Vegas. Yep.
Oh, wow.
9 in 1993. Yokozuna defeated Bret Hart to win the championship, and the main event's outcome was overshadowed by Hulk Hogan's sudden return and victory over Yokozuna for the title. And it lasted 22 seconds.
For no reason.
But the universe howl in despair, for I have returned.
Yes, he has. And while you were gone, we were just going over the last time Mania was in Vegas was WrestleMania 9, which was Yokozuna beating Bret Hart, and then directly after a 22-second match for Hulk Hogan's return to just take the belt away from Yokozuna.
In the immortal words of one Iron Sheik,
fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Really, mine was much more listener friendly. If I had a nickel for every time WrestleMania was in Vegas with an underwhelming card, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it's happened twice.
A lot that you can say that for nowadays, and it's really kind of disturbing that you can do that.
Yeah.
Look, Dr. Doofenshmirtz was a wise man.
Mm-hmm.
Also, speaking of that, off topic, dude, Phineas and Ferb is coming back.
Yeah. What?
Phineas and Ferb is coming back, and I'm excited for that. Yeah,
I'm hoping all 3 shows cross over.
Dude, yeah, grown ass man excited for a Phineas and Ferb season 5 or season whatever. Dude, that show was so much fun.
Yes,
so
it was.
much fun. So yeah, here, let's talk about it. All right. Let us get into this card. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. I also sent it in our chat so we could see it. If you want me to just read them off one by one?
Well, we can go over it. So let's go. This is night 1.
Yeah.
We'll start with the first. So we know that the official main event for night 1 will be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Punk for a triple threat match. No stakes, just for, in the words of Seth Rollins, the soul of this industry. My God, they have been cooking.
This is probably my most what's what I'm looking for here. My most controversial match. I don't know how this is going to end. I've got 2 options. And then the third option being Roman wins. I don't see Roman winning this. I
Nah.
see two options here. Either Seth
Mhm.
Rollins wins and then either that night or you save it until the next night. He takes Paul Heyman with him and he becomes the new Paul Heyman guy, and then night 2 does something to prevent Cody from winning, giving Cena the win, and then Seth declares himself as part of the new group with Cena and The Rock as the what's better for business group or what's best for business group, because he said it last night on Raw. What I'm trying to do, what's best for business, which is like almost identical to what The Rock said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
No.
other
And
option being CM Punk wins and he takes Paul Heyman back. He becomes the OG Paul Heyman guy again, and that starts a feud with Roman for a while.
so, hey, guys. Hold that thought for a second, okay?
Yeah. Joe, while Shadow's going, why don't you go over your thoughts on the triple threat?
I mean, honestly, I'm not really that excited for Roman Reigns to get it again. I hope CM Punk gets it. If Seth gets it, that's fine. I mean, that advances the plot line, but like the bloodline storyline is just like kind of kibosh at this point,
Well, yeah.
because even the Jacob Fatu line is just kind of dead in the water.
Yeah. They
As
should have
well.
done Jacob versus Solo at Mania, but I
And that's
like
what
the
Solo's faction is kind of dead in the water too.
I think that's
So,
what's going to happen at either SummerSlam or Backlash, or whatever, where we're getting Jacob versus Solo. That's probably down the road. But I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves at Jacob. Obviously, that's another match coming up. But I mean,
well, it's either going to be CM Punk or Rollins. I mean,
that's my thoughts
I
too.
could see CM Punk getting it for his WrestleMania moment, but I can also see Rollins just getting the belt to move this stuff forward.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts too. I think either Punk gets his moment, which I think he absolutely deserves. After all the years of pushing to try and be that WrestleMania main eventer, finally is one. I think it's time you give him that win. But then also, the juicy story of Rollins screwing everyone over, going back to potentially going back to this character or creating a new one of the Architect, either going back to the Architect or becoming this new Seth Rollins of I'm the corporation Rollins now. I would
Yeah,
love to see either of those. I mean, he was wearing the leather last night, just like HBK when he turned. He took a steel chair to Roman again, just like he did, Plan B, and then doing what's best for business. I mean that all rolls up into he's going heel again, at least in my opinion.
Yep, no, it sounds right.
I mean, but Punk wise, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see him get his moment. I'd also love to see him be the OG Paul Heyman guy again. I think that bridge between Roman and Paul Heyman is burned to an extent. I mean, there could be reconciliation, but I doubt it. I honestly think we're gonna have Paul Heyman leave and go to either Punk or Rollins. But I mean, at this
Yeah,
point, it's between Punk and Rollins.
yeah. So, sorry about that, but
No,
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. The fact that it's a triple threat is cool. There's not. I mean, I agree with you that I do believe that one of the ways that it's going to end is Paul Heyman going to Seth, with Seth winning. So
he does have a favor, which
he
not how favors
has a
work,
favor.
but it's a favor.
Yeah. He has a favor, and also I do believe that um you know, yes, you've given CM Punk his WrestleMania moment, his main event, but that doesn't mean he's going to be the victor. Look at
Right.
all three players in this match. Roman, as ever, Tribal Chief as ever, just come in with the swagger of, yeah, I made this match happen. Let's get this over with finally. You're in this match because of our history, blah blah blah, and you're in the match because a favor was owed. Here you go, blah blah blah. Even though that wasn't the favor, to have him stripped of Paul Heyman, have been dropped multiple times, and then also the just pure unadulterated hate he has for Seth. We saw what that hate cost him last year.
Yes. But just
And
going back to Cody's quote from last year, I'm going to take everything from you. I'm taking your belt. I'm taking your bloodline. I'm taking everything. And what
yeah,
had happened? He lost the Ulafala. He lost the belt. He lost the bloodline. He's about to lose Heyman. That's the rest of
hmm
his bloodline. He's done. So, I
which
mean, as
which is
I'm calling this at this point, no matter what, Roman's losing. But
he's losing and possibly setting up for his retirement.
I could see that maybe. I could see him maybe staying for another year or two and then calling it.
Yeah.
My guess is
Um,
this. So what you missed is Joe and I were talking. Um, Seth, I think, is going heel no matter what. Whether he takes Heyman or not is up in the air. If he takes Heyman, cool. It's a new take. He's going to be the new Paul Heyman guy. If not, then either way, I think he's joining Rock and Cena in this new corporation, best for business group. He's
mm,
wearing the leather. He did the Plan B chair. He's saying a quote directly from The Rock. It's all right there. Um, Punk, if he takes Heyman, this builds a huge feud between Roman and Punk going forward for
yeah.
multiple PLEs.
hmm Yeah. I agree with that. So, like that,
So yeah, you could
multiple,
see it
multiple,
splitting. Like, you
multiple
know,
ways you can go.
yeah, Rollins goes to the corporation, Heyman goes to Punk. Either one of them wins. I would say maybe Punk wins at that point. And then like night two, Rollins helps out Cena, is my guess.
Yeah.
So up next, though,
Yeah.
do you
Let's
want
talk
to go
about
into the main event, or are you just going to skip it and then come back to it?
well, we'll save the Jay and Gunter as last thing. So,
Okay.
let's talk about the less enthusing match, the Tiffany versus Charlotte Flair.
Tiffany's winning.
Um, Tiffany is absolutely going to win. Um, I want her to win.
Yes.
I don't have that much against Charlotte Flair, but that whole coming back in,
Yeah.
win,
But
win, 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 win. All
going
you do
off,
is just,
well, yeah, that annoys the shit out of me. Of like every time she comes
yeah,
back from injury, she gets a belt. I mean,
no,
oh, we
bro.
get it. You're a Flair.
Yeah, no. I have no vested interest in this match outside of Tiffany being hot. That's really it. Like, like
Well, I
I'm
mean,
sure.
the Kaiser's in my DMs.
Yeah, bro. No,
You're going off
not a
script too much.
single, not a single person alive believed
Believe that.
that. Believe that man became a
Just cue
babyface
up the
that
LA Noir meme of doubt.
day. Yeah, pretty much. Um, One I do have a bit more insight into that I'm excited for is Jade Cargo versus Naomi. Bro,
Yes.
they have been cooking on screen and off screen
I don't know how that
since
one's going to play out at all.
and honestly, I don't even want to speculate. I just want to talk about how brutal it's going to be because Jade came in at the Elimination Chamber and whooped
Pissed.
ass. Boy, she came in there and hit, and I'm glad they did the whole like she thought she was going for live, and then she just popped off on Naomi and the
Yeah.
boot to the face and on the wall, and then the gate.
Bianca, no!
That being the setup for this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
And then Indians been
Naomi's
going back
heel
and forth.
arc of like the glow's gone, caution,
Hey,
like
yeah, it's
sign me up.
It's been nothing but straight cooking with gas since Jay came back, and revealed who it was. It's been like even to add it on with Bianca and that whole. Now, obviously,
I did it for
she
you.
had to walk away and focus on her title thing, and I'm kind of glad they haven't put her back in it as much. Obviously, they mentioned her and everything, but like the scene of her walking away, then Naomi calling her a stuck up bitch, and then Jay coming out and then whooping. That was the
Yeah.
best way they could have done it, having Bianca step away from that. One, taking her presence out of it, even though she's a part of it, letting her focus on her match, and letting these two focus on themselves as build up to this match at WrestleMania, which, last year they were there as the big three. Now they're there as just two, as just one on one. And I'm really, really excited to see how it's going to play out. I honestly don't know who's going to win. And I'm excited for
Yeah.
that.
I could see
Another
going either
one,
way.
yeah. Another one that I really don't know how it's going to play out is the World Tag Team Championships, War Raiders and New Day. I'm really glad that the War Raiders are getting their WrestleMania moment. Um, and just the fact that they have been through a lot.
Yes.
Those two, Eric and Ivar, dear God. Eric was the first to be taken out and be out for a while, which left Ivar with a solo run, on Raw, on NXT, and he was handling business,
Yeah.
and then he got injured, and to have them come back from these just career-ending neck injuries, take the championships off Judgment Day, and bring war to everyone's doorstep who has fought them since then. Now, the way they were setting it up, they were setting up for a feud against American Made, the Creed brothers, but that
Match would have
obviously
been
never
bad.
really panned out. And now we're getting the New Day, or the New Day,
New
whatever, versus
Day
the
sucks. New
yeah.
Day sucks.
So I'm excited to see how that is going to play out. That's one I can also see going either way. If the New Day wins, as insufferable as they are now, dear
Oh,
God.
just you wait. So that's my thoughts on this as well. I thought this match was insanely like, why the hell did you put this together? It was so last minute. One, it was last minute. Two, they still to this day, like yesterday, that little promo they tried to make or whatever, to me, did
Uh-huh.
not feel enough. There was no reason to like what is the reasoning behind this feud? What is the reasoning behind like putting this match together so late before Mania? My guess is this is replacing the Randy Orton match, but like I still think Randy should get something. I don't know if maybe on Friday they announce Randy's going up against Solo, which I don't want. I would rather him go up against Aldis, which would be amazing to see.
That would be.
Bring back
I,
Magnus.
I didn't know. I didn't know all this was married to Mickey James.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, small world. I know he was a wrestler. I just didn't know that. That's really cool. Speaking of which, let's go on to the next one. Another one that another one we know who's gonna win. El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is gonna whoop
Yes.
that trick. He's gonna whoop that trick up and down. Now they're gonna give Gable some. I'm sorry. They're gonna give Americano some moments. And he'll have his WrestleMania hits and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we know who's gonna win this match. It's gonna be Ray, and he's gonna unmask um
El Grande
and
Americano. It's his show.
Americano and then now they could do it two ways. There could be some kind of mishap where American Made comes out and they try to help him, and then he's out of camera focus for a certain amount of time, and when he finally does come back in, now if they can find somebody who has the same physique or someone even close to that, fine. But having him finally be a math and it's not Cable would
I
be
mean,
mind blowing. But obviously, we
yes.
know
Yes.
it's going to be Gable.
If we're being completely serious here, like 100% serious and not joking, literally the last match he was just in against LWO, the camera caught right on the back of his neck is the exact same tattoo that Gable has. So like,
Yeah.
yes,
So
it's Gable. But if we're breaking the fourth wall here, but if we're going strictly based off a story and hilariousness, then yes, it'd be hilarious to like unmask and it's not Gable, and then it continues. But I do think, the whole ploy of Gable missed WrestleMania last year. He's going this year because he's Americano, but he's missing 2 Manias in a row. And then he
yeah.
unmasks and it's like, I got my WrestleMania moment. Like, okay, cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like, okay, Gable's unmasked. Now he's mastered the dark arts of Lucha Libre. He doesn't have to wear the mask. He can be Gable and go up against the LWO, and you build that. Cool.
Yeah.
But
I'm
what if
interested
he
to see how it's
wins?
gonna play. Oh, dude, if he wins, dude, if he
This is me
wins,
just playing devil's advocate at this point. Because if he wins, this leads into staying masked. He has to keep
yeah,
up the fact of I've missed 2 Manias in a row. And then what happens from that?
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Um, the last one before the actual main event we wanted, U.S. Championship, LA Knight, Fatu. I'm sorry, Fatu's
Yeah,
taking it. Fat,
I know. I
I,
know. I
I love
love
LA
LA
Knight.
Knight,
I'm
but
There's no way Fatu, Jacob Fatu, who has been just on 100 since he got here. There is no way you send that man to WrestleMania and he does not walk out as a champion. I'm sorry. The only way they do that is if they had kept the Braun Strowman feud and then and they just had a monster match there. No, him going against a champion, you do not have him walk out of WrestleMania not a champion. He will tear that place asunder if he does.
yes. I
So
mean, the fans already have showed, like, I mean, the blood, like Joe was saying when you were gone, that bloodline, the whole aspect of bloodline and everything, it seems like it's dead at this point. Bloodline storyline's dead. Roman has no bloodline. Solo's bloodline's falling apart. Fatu and Solo aren't getting along. I think that's going to be a match down the road in either Backlash or SummerSlam or something. We're getting Fatu versus Solo. Maybe Solo's pissed off at the fact that Fatu has the belt and not him. I just there's something that's going to happen with it, but he's gotten so much.
absolutely.
He's gotten so much love from the fans now. Just watching, like, don't get me wrong, Tama Tonga, the yeah,
I feel
but like the moment Jacob Fatu walks out and you hear the entire audience, he goes fa two fa
boy,
two.
it's gonna be so loud.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited. He's definitely earned that spotlight, that type of adulation. I mean, look at what he had to where he came from, when he's been putting in the work in the indies and everything. Now he's here and he's just put in so much work, got so much both heat and like he's clearly a hero, but we love him, and we
Yes.
love that. So yeah, I do not see Jacob Fatu walking out of WrestleMania not the champion. And honestly, if it does set up for something along the line with him and Solo and even Tom, honestly, Solo's been great. I want it to be Tama Tonga the one that has an issue with it because Tama Tonga before Fatu got there, it was Tama Tonga who was putting breakers on everybody. Like
True.
before even before his brother got there, like it was Tama Tonga who everyone had a problem, who everyone was scared of, and he's kind of lost that recently, just being
The right hand man, the
Solo's
yeah
Cody.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, and I need him to get some of that back. I need some of that back for him. He definitely deserves it. Like he's damn good in the ring. And like I said, that aura of him, everyone being scared of him, then Jacob comes and just takes all that over. It'd be nice to see Tama be the one that has the real issue instead of Solo. Solo's had his time. Solo had the Ulafala. He had that whole run. He won several high profile matches last year, and then you had the debut match on Raw Netflix. Yeah, you lost, but you had that high quality match.
Yeah.
He's had his time. I definitely think and want Tama to have a bit more shine, and having him feud with Jacob, having two wild men like that feud
I could
to
see that,
over
but I feel like
over
I
a
don't know. Maybe
championship.
Tama leaned towards one or the other, whether it's Solo or Fatu in terms of like teams, like
Yeah,
sidelines. But like, I definitely see more of a Solo issue because look at what Solo did all of last year, all of 2024. He was the biggest heel in the company, other than maybe
yeah,
Dom. Other than maybe Dom, that's about it. I honestly believe Fatu took that away from him with how much he was loved, and now like Solo's got to be pissed about that. You can
oh
clearly
yeah,
see in
absolutely.
every promo they show behind the scenes, like as they're walking towards stage, whenever they run into each other, it's him and Fatu beefing heads, saying like, "You didn't have to come out there and be there for me. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do that. I got this."
Yeah,
So yeah, but
yeah.
like my question
That's
for both of
definitely.
you guys is, what's next for LA Knight? If he loses this U.S. Championship, what's next for him?
I don't know. Um, because the most he's been really going against lately has been Bloodline or Braun Strowman. Um, I don't see him at the moment going for the main championship. Um, who knows? Maybe he gets put over on Raw or doing a switch up. I'm
Yeah, I
honestly
could
I
see him
don't
maybe
know.
going to Raw and then going up
Yeah,
against whoever the Intercontinental is after that. Maybe
Trump. Sorry, what was that?
I could see him going to Raw and then going after whoever gets the Intercontinental after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one.
Oh,
Let's go
same,
ahead
because I
and
have an idea,
yeah,
but
let's go ahead
we'll
and
go
talk
into
about
the main event.
the true main event that we know is the real main event. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. We know that the entrance is going to be absolute gas. I don't know what rapper he's gonna get to go this time. There's
No
possibly
rapper.
it's
You
gonna
don't
be.
need it. You
Yeah,
don't need it.
he doesn't need it, but he's already put out bumpers out there, and I think Sexy Red may have answered. I really
Oh
hope
God.
not. Yeah, that's. But despite that, we know the entrance is still gonna be gas, and we know that this isn't just main event Jey Uso fighting Gunter. Even though it had a slower build up and start after he chose him after winning the Rumble, what they've done in the last 3 weeks with the utter destruction of Jimmy and Jim and Jay finally realizing that he's not afraid of Gunter anymore and having Gunter be just utterly shook about it to where he was so angry this week. You cannot tell me that Jay is not walking out as World Heavyweight Championship. He is so
Yes.
over it hurts almost pretty much.
I can't
And
wait to see
so
also what his gear is for this match. Um, and then also the Monday, like the Raw after Mania, dude, the fucking gold drip. He's gonna probably come
oh
out in like
bro.
gold Air Force Ones, fucking gold ever. I can't wait. This is gonna be fucking hype. I can't wait to see this. Joe, I mean,
Yeah.
do you think there's any shot Gunther comes out of this with the belt?
Yeah, there's like a chop or two of a chance.
I love that.
I mean, there's never a 0% chance, so I get that. But
Well, there's
like,
100% chance you'll get chopped.
Oh, absolutely. And it's gonna hurt and it's gonna be loud.
yeah,
Um and
It will
honestly,
clear your sinuses. It will make it easier to breathe in this time of tree pollen.
I mean, but that would be just the biggest berry of your most over
yes, absolutely.
your most over character. So I mean, honestly,
If I'm a
it can
betting
go
man,
either way. But I truly believe, Jay's walking out as the heavyweight champion. Now, night two. Let's go ahead
yes.
and talk about the one we want to talk about. It's other stuff that's gonna happen, but this fatal four way for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sorry, Penta, you great. Finn, you've been great. Braun, I love you, brother. But I need Dom to walk out of this as the IC champion.
Yes.
So
I'm sorry, Finn Balor fans, you're not getting Win Balor or Pin Balor. I'm sorry.
You're not getting Win Balor. It's
You've
going
been
to be
begging for it
Dom.
for years. I'm sorry. No. You're
It's
getting
going to be
Latino heat coming back, reincarnate.
yeah. Dude, first of all, the amount of heat / love he will get, because he, like you said, outside of Solo, he is the heel. Uh, to have him for a year now, and to have him finally win a main title on the main roster. Now he's been tag team champion, he's been North American
Yes.
champion, NXT, great, but having him, he didn't even have to beat Braun, and
Yeah.
here's what I think's
He
going to
could-
happen. He's
I
going
want
to
him to
pin
pin.
Balor.
Yes, I want him to pin Balor so badly.
He's going to pin Balor. Like
You kick
Balor's
Balor
gonna
out
take
of Judgment Day.
He's going to, well, honestly, dissolve Judgment Day. Just have him running around with Liv and Raquel. But
like with
but-
Carlito.
what outside of getting speared to hell, what has Carlito really done?
Flirted with Raquel and been there for Dom.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, like I needed to be Dom, one, because I know it will just it'll be on screen a rub to Ray.
Yes. And,
but
and
also
a nod
I know
to Eddie.
but I also know Ray would be just so fucking proud that out of the last 2 times he's been in WrestleMania, he's got whooped by his dad. Now he goes to WrestleMania and wins the title.
Yeah.
Bro, he'll be so proud. But
Here's my pitch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember last year we had Sammy get met up backstage, his family, then he goes through and he sees Kevin, he's like, you got this, he goes out and he wins. We have Dom contemplating this whole thing before the match starts. He's like getting ready, Liv comes out and she like gives him those stupid little like Eskimo kisses with the nose or whatever. She looks at him and she's like, remember what we talked about, Dom. You're more than what everybody else thinks you are. Don't put yourself down. You got this. You are better than what everybody thinks you are because they make fun of you. They underestimate you. And then she looks him dead in the eyes and she goes, whatever it takes.
And then gives him a full kiss. Bump the Eskimo. Kiss that man.
Well, yeah, but I think when she kissed him with the
PLE.
tongue and everything last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, Trips was pissed about that.
Why?
I guess it's like crossing a line he didn't want to cross. I don't know. But also Dom just got married at that point. And but it seems like Liv is like really good friends with his wife and like Dom was all for it and they just went with it. So like
I mean, and honestly, it worked for the heel factor, like of him betraying Rhea and everything. It so be mad if you want to, but it worked.
yes.
It was just pure gas. So yeah, no, I definitely would like to see an equivalent of that. Liv just giving him the just utmost epic crap talk of his life. I mean, what better motivation do you need to go win a war than your wife saying, hey, you got this, go out there, win the battle, come back home, and I got
all the chicken nuggies for you.
You go out there and win.
Or I'm sorry, tendies. He likes tendies.
Yeah. You go out there and win this championship, and tonight when we get back to the room, it'll be just me and nothing else but chicken tendies. Nothing else.
And a mountain of chicken tendies. Dig through the tendies to get to me.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, bet. So I definitely
love the idea of like that dirtiness of like that just fighting dirty, like, hey, whatever you got to do to win, you do this. And then he pins Balor.
They can do whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not going to be Penta. Penta's been great. Yeah. He has not been there long enough to pull off that.
I can see a feud with him afterwards.
Yeah, Braun, I believe, is definitely more than ready to go after the world heavyweight, and then obviously having him reignite his feud with Jay.
Oh
be
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And then
Oh my God, yeah.
and then Finn just sticking it to him, having Dom, little dirty Dom, the guy that they bullied into their group, who they claimed is his brother and all that stuff. He's been just looking down through for the whole rest of this half year. It's him that pins him to win the title that he wanted to win, and
Yes.
then that sets up a feud with them. And yeah, no, I don't care I don't care what it is. It needs to be Dom, please
Yeah.
and thank you. To the next one. Excuse me.
Tag team, women's tag team.
Women's tag team. I can honestly go either way.
I
The
think
fact that
Liv and no. Here's my thing: is I think Liv and Raquel are losing. Or I'm sorry, I think Liv and Raquel. Ooh, wait, I don't know how this works because this is Liv's and Raquel's championship. I want essentially my whole goal is I need Lyra to want to have a feud with Liv afterwards to where she puts up the Intercontinental belt after this, and then Liv beats her. So that way it's Liv and Dom matching Intercontinental championships.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would be cute actually.
So
That'd
I
be really
think
nice.
Liv and Raquel lose this.
Yeah.
And then it starts a feud, and then Liv and Lyra go at each other for the belt.
I can see that. Honestly, like because it's not a real tag team, and Bailey I love, Lyra I love, but it's not a real full tag team going after it. I don't have that much in it.
Yeah.
I would love Liv and Raquel to win, but what you just said makes more sense, and I think that would work well for story wise. Because having the two most insufferable heels as matching IC champions would be honestly so cute.
Not only that, but just the heat from it.
Oh yeah, the heat, bro. Oh, it'd be great. So, all right. So, speaking of heat, AJ Styles and Logan Paul.
Please.
Karrion's been trying to tell you, AJ, this ain't just about you winning. You have to win because giving Logan Paul a win at WrestleMania,
please no,
just destroys all.
We need to do what's best for business.
Do what's best for business and destroy him. Please.
Yes.
I hate that man passion with thousand burning suns. Call me a hater. I don't care. I hate him. I really do.
Now, before we move on to the next match, I do. Joe, thank you for joining us. I know he had to hop, so appreciate you hopping on.
All right, cool. Thanks, Joe, as always, brother.
Yeah, appreciate sorry guys. I'm starting to fall asleep because work was really hectic today, so I don't want to fall asleep on camera.
I get it. Thank you for being here, and we'll definitely get ready for the next one, which will be Thunderbolts. Putting that out there now. Probably a couple days after or the Wednesday after. I try to give everybody a little chance to go see it. So the Wednesday after Thunderbolts, we'll be back with another episode. Bing bang boom. All right, back. Joe.
Right, so Joe, any final
camera?
What's that?
Do what?
I can't bring that many books on camera.
Anything
Joe,
you
in
want
that
to say?
sense, final? Last comments.
I just hope Mania is not WrestleMania 9 Mania.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be more entertaining than that.
In the immortal words of Stone Cold Steve Austin,
who I'm hoping makes an appearance.
Do what, Joe?
I said in the immortal words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, those are two solid ass cats.
Yes.
I love it. All right, bro. Get some rest, get some sleep, and have a good day. Have a good day at work tomorrow.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya. No. There
we go. We're
good. All right. So Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
This one's interesting because obviously I feel like this is just a straight rip off of the Punk McIntyre feud. He took his necklace. Oh, it's not a bracelet. It's a necklace. Difference.
Yeah.
And don't get me
It,
wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to mark out here. I'm not trying to be that like, oh, wrestling guy, but like listening to wrestlers like CM Punk and other people who have talked about like gimmicks of like street fights and like, oh, like look, I'll be honest with you flat out. You can like AEW. I'm not going to hate you for it. I can't stand it. I used to like it. I thought it had potential. It is died out in my opinion. The fact that they are just every week now, it's like gotta have like, you know, the light rods and like smashing through car windows that are actually real glass and blah blah blah. It's fake. It's not fake. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is it's lazy and like you could do so much better. So the fact that this is a Sin City street fight worries me
yeah.
because what is this saying? I mean, you had the nice little nod to AEW of Drew McIntyre pretending he got glass in his eye, because Punk literally told, I think it was the, oh my God, who is it? The Young Bucks that like, no, we don't smash through real windows. Like, do you want glass in your eye? You're an idiot.
Yeah. That was a good callback.
So, I mean, which love again, CM Punk walks by and goes, that's a shame as he walks by.
Right. Yeah, no, that was good. That was great. Honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm loving Damian Priest's run.
Yes.
Champion or not, I'm loving Drew right now. It's so whoever wins, great. Obviously if Drew does it, he'll be even more insufferable. If he loses, he'll be even more insufferable. So we can go either way. I just know it's gonna be a fun match. Because if we know one thing about Damian Priest, that man excels in
Yes.
street fights.
I just hope this doesn't drag out. Like
Nah, I don't think it will.
I think the Punk McIntyre feud dragged out a little too long with the whole bracelet thing going back and forth. I got it back. No, I'm going to take it the same night again. And then I beat you. And then now I'm going to take it back. And then it's broken and blah, blah, blah. Like the fact that he took his necklace, it's like, just let's have Damian win, take the necklace, move on.
Yeah.
But at that point, does McIntyre get pissed off that Damian won at Mania and then continue the feud? Or does he go, okay, feud's over, you won, I'll go to somebody else? I don't know.
It probably either. I would definitely like to see McIntyre take a run at Cody. Because they have so much history working together, and then also,
True.
Do what?
I said true, but I do have a pitch for championship, which we'll get to. We have also one other match after this one.
So we're women's world championship. Io, Bianca, Rhea.
I'm sorry,
been kind of okay. So that would imply two things. One, that would imply that they're breaking Bianca's WrestleMania win streak, and finally give Rhea a win over Io. Io has never lost, never lost to Rhea, and so I wanted to be what
if Rhea pins Bianca, does that count as a loss to Rhea for Io?
No, because she didn't beat or pin Io. She just won the championship. She didn't actually beat. It's basically equivalent to her. Yeah, but it's basically equivalent to her tossing Io out of the Royal Rumble. Yeah, she tossed her out, but she still never beaten her in a one-on-one match.
Right.
So I wanted to be Bianca to keep her win streak.
Understandable.
Honestly, when she won Chamber, I wanted her to immediately go out to Rhea because I have been waiting.
Yes.
Rhea and Bianca fight.
Big muscly women.
In 2022, bro, I've been waiting for that, and they teased it, and they've never given it to us, and I have been waiting for that match. I just now we have it. We just have Io with it. Don't get me wrong, Io is great. She's champion worthy. I do not knock Io Sky at all. I would have preferred this to be just Bianca and Rhea, no holds barred, just whooping ass and Bianca out on top. That's just me.
I agree.
Again, it can go either way. I'm putting my cast in. I want it to be Bianca. I'll be okay if it's Rhea, but I want it to be Bianca.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I kind of that's kind of how I fall on it as well. My thought process is I don't see EO winning this and continuing the belt. This has to be a feud with Rhea and Bianca going forward. So one
Yeah,
of them is going to win, and they're going to pin each other, whoever it is.
yeah,
So that way it causes that feud, and then like maybe you get a rematch against EO of like, you didn't even pin me. That's not fair. Like you
yeah.
either you inserted yourself into this match, that's not fair, or you pinned Rhea, who wasn't even supposed to be there. That's not fair. She gets the rematch.
Right.
She loses to whoever it is, and then you have the feud with Rhea and Bianca going forward. Which, in that case, I mean, you lose the streak, which I understand you don't want. However, if Rhea wins, you get a lot of best of both worlds on multiple areas of, okay, you weren't supposed to be in this match. That's not fair. I want a rematch. You finally have, let's say, Mania after a Monday after Mania or something.
Huh?
Rhea versus EO for the belt, and
You finally beat her. Yeah.
she beats EO, and then you build that feud to then go into the next one's what, Backlash.
God bless you.
So then Backlash is Rhea versus Bianca or SummerSlam.
Yeah. Also, the other reason I want Bianca to win is because Io is the one who stole her championship in the first place. If you
Mm,
remember, because Io won the Money in the Bank, and just after um Bianca had finished fighting Charlotte, and she was injured. I don't know if it was kayfabe or not, but Io came out to the championship, and that's how her first reign started until
yeah.
last WrestleMania. So either way, sorry, Io Sky, like really sorry, but either way, I need her to lose to
Yes.
either Bianca or either Rhea, and then if she loses to Rhea, Pia pinfall someone else, I need her to lose again to finally have Rhea get that validation of I finally
Yes.
beat you 1-on-1 and earn my championship. It'd be a good way to set that up. Either way, but speaking of championships, finally,
Whoa.
look, man, this has been a wild, and I mean wild ride. This Elimination Chamber, because here we all, yeah, this is last. This is a farewell tour. John Cena's leaving. He's gonna have a couple matches at these places. It's gonna be great. He's going for the championship, but he might not get it. Ooh, ah. And then that kick happened. Dear God, that whole setup shook everybody. And what has been said and done in the recent weeks, did that whole European
Yeah.
tour. Oh, dude, John
I know.
Cena has been
Germany
straight
itself, the pan over to the
hooking.
little kid.
Dude, he's been straight hooking. And everything he's
I
saying
I've seen a lot of
is
people though say that they have not let John really get on the mic and go after Cody.
he's been going after the fan. And
Yes.
only when I think it was what, 2 weeks ago, they finally had like a go at each other
Yeah.
deal.
A lot of people were
Um,
saying that he held back or like the company held him back.
yeah. And so the whole mic part about it, cool. But the actual match itself and what possibly could happen. All right, so this is not a bloodline rules or not a stipulation match. It's a straightforward. You won. Let's do a championship. It's me and
Yeah.
you, 1-on-1, regular match. That does not mean final boss.
Right. Because he's going to be
Rick,
there. It's already confirmed he's showing up.
Ric Flair, maybe.
Oh, please God, no.
A, a Stone Cold. A
That's the
Stone
one
Cold.
person
Well,
I'm like, let's just move on.
that is not. That does not mean that there can't be some form of interference.
Yes.
On both sides, and the real thing that needs to happen, if you're having the final boss be behind John Cena as this new corporate overlord, you need to have the man who hates corporate overlords be the one in Cody's corner. It needs to be Stone Cold, who missed last year. We got Undertaker, great, cool, but it can't be anybody else but Stone Cold. The pop.
Bro, I
If that if
will.
that if that man's music happens, dear God,
I know we're watching this at a watch party. I will stand up and fucking full on just.
I'll be at work, unfortunately. So I'll be
I
at work
hate
with
that
my
they took that
tablet.
away. They're not allowed to do that, so he does the fists. But like, I get it.
Yeah, no, I'll be at work watching it. With my tablet on and
Sunday?
everything. But
That's Sunday.
bro, like,
You're working
yeah,
Sunday?
I work Sunday. Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah.
Damn. All
Yeah,
right,
so but
that
no,
sucks.
I am yeah, it does. I won't get to fully enjoy it with everybody, but still, I'm not gonna miss it.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, however it happens, you knock out the referees, whatever. We know the final boss is gonna have a play in it.
yeah.
I don't really just don't want Travis Scott to have any play in it at all. But if he does,
No, I want him to be
he
there
need
so Cody can give him his little
he
look back.
yeah he needs to get a receipt from Cody, and he needs to take it on the chin and leave it at that because, bro, you damn near ruptured that man's eye socket, like
Yes. No, it wasn't the
because
eye.
you
I
are
think he popped his eardrum.
yeah because you are not a wrestler.
Yeah.
So
He
yeah,
apparently has been training a little bit. So good. Take a pedigree from Cody or something.
we'll see because he needs to get that lid back,
Yes.
and it needs to be some form of Rock versus Stone Cold. A WrestleMania in Vegas, and the luck of the draw giving us that matchup that we
Yeah.
haven't seen in years, bro. Like
Now, in terms of who wins, though, other than this, show up of whoever shows up, which I will get to mine in a sec on who shows up.
yeah,
I want Cody to win. I am a huge Cody supporter. I don't think he wins this. I honestly believe Cena wins this.
Really?
He gets the 17, and then we see maybe SummerSlam or something. Either Cody wins it back or somebody wins it, and then the end of the road, Cena retires in December, and then we go back to Cody fighting to get the belt or has the belt or whatever. I know I want to say it's December. Let me look this up so I make sure. Is it Ruthless Aggression or something like that?
Yeah, they're doing the ruthless aggression thing.
PLE. Yeah, there's a PLE supposedly coming towards the end of this year that I don't know if it's a surprise or whatever. There's been leaks about it. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a rumor that come December, his final match will be a new PLE called Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah,
which is obviously dedicated to him.
It's been more or less confirmed. More or less, it just hasn't been fully announced yet, but it has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Having seen him win, I mean, that would definitely be a
he
bold
deserves
shakeup.
17.
It'll be a bold shakeup, but not having your champion make it to a full year.
He did. He's already passed the year. WrestleMania last year was already passed.
Well, the first weekend, wasn't it, last year? Okay.
WrestleMania 40.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, April 6th and 7th.
Yeah, I still don't know, man. I would love for John to get a 17 to end on, but the way they've set it up with what he said he'll do if he does win, and then Cody getting the fans involved, like, hey, this isn't just my belt, it's their belt, and you taking it from them, I cannot allow.
Hey, we already saw Saturday Night Main Event, a different belt came out. So what if this is the way Cena's like, I'm taking this belt home with me. All right, fine. Winged Eagle belt back. Fuck you.
Maybe. I
or
don't
an
know.
updated Winged Eagle or something.
But that would be great. It's a toss up. It really is, because it could go legitimately either way. Even no matter what the interferences are, it can go either way. And
yes.
I don't think it would be realistically good for Cody. To lose the championship at the one he got it at last year, only to get it back. I mean, yeah, we've seen that happen before. I just don't think for him, for the guy, for the main guy of the company,
The QB
I
one,
don't think
the captain.
yeah, the cat. I don't think it's really a good look. I don't think Triple H will allow that to really happen.
I mean,
That being
like he said
said,
with Cena going heel, never say never.
yeah, that being said, if Cena loses, do you think? And we talked about this before. Do you think he plays the I was out of my mind or redemption card now, or let
No,
it build
it's
up
too late now.
to the end of the year?
It's too late now. I
Um,
think there's a way he can go back to babyface or like some sort of a babyface down the road. I
yeah,
think that happens after he wins 17. Because I think no matter what, whether it's now or it's SummerSlam or wherever, he's winning 17. As much
yeah,
as look, like Ric Flair is a legend in his own right. He has done wonders for the company. He put the company on the map along with um, someone we already said, the words of the Iron Sheik, fuck the Hulk Hogan. But like there have been legends for years. I mean, that have done feats of beyond belief. But I mean, is it something that I think Flair really needs to keep? No, in my opinion, no. There's been a lot of flack about Flair and more recently in terms of news. It's coming out a lot, like not as much as bad as like Vince, he who shall not be named.
uh,
But there's the womanizing. It's just like his daughter, 0 for 3. Like,
yeah,
it's not looking good. I'd rather 17 be the record and the face of WWE be John Cena. And when somebody goes, "Hey, who's won the most championships? Who is Mr. WWE?" and they go, "Oh yeah, no, it's John Cena." Makes sense, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Now I know
I would,
obviously I'm biased. We grew up with Cena, but like, and I will be honest, as a kid watching WWE, I was not the biggest Cena fan. I was Kane and Jeff Hardy,
yeah.
which hilarious, made me laugh. The Jeff Hardy quote of, "Oh, if I didn't do drugs, I would have been bigger than."
I've been bigger than Cena. No,
I mean,
Jeff, I love you. No,
in my heart, yes.
sometimes. No, sorry. Again, and that's what us being able to have a conversation, it being such a toss-up. I mean, Triple H has done some very unpredictable things in his time as chief creative officer, and I am excited to see what happens next. And everyone has been talking about how lackluster the build-up has been, kind of, but honestly, check what we get, man. Like
Yeah,
we're still getting an extremely hyped WrestleMania weekend. It just took a little bit to get there. Obviously,
yeah,
if you go back to last year, we had the build up from the last WrestleMania before that, so we had like a double Mania build up. But this year, the time it took and what they and the care they put into the building up those stories, I'm okay with. So, all that being said, that was our thoughts on this WrestleMania card coming up this weekend. We didn't do
now
NXT.
I
I
will
I,
say though,
I want to talk about that later.
yeah, I don't really follow NXT, so I wouldn't be too
You
much help.
look if you
Um,
want if you want if you want a lot of baddies, follow NXT.
oh, I know. Believe me, I know. But I will say, the one thing I do want to add to this last match, the not stipulations, but the interferences. I'm hoping Stone Cold shows up in some sort of match or after a match. He's gonna be there for the weekend for the WWE World for signings and stuff,
Hmm.
photo ops, autographs, all that stuff. I think he's showing up. I don't know. I mean, have you been watching Stephanie's Places?
I have not. I want to.
Okay, it's on Disney
I,
Plus.
yeah,
Or it's on Disney Plus if you have ESPN Plus, I believe.
and
Which
Hulu. Yeah,
I
I do.
watched all 4 so far. This today's episode was Stone Cold. Um,
Right.
Last week's was Rhea. and then it was Cody, and then the
Cody
first
and Punk.
episode was Punk. Yeah. So this week's episode, like today's episode, focused on Stone Cold and like how he got into the business, his relationship with Stephanie, what he's been up to since he retired, what it felt like to come back and was at 38 against Owens. And he was like, that was a nice send off. I needed that. I feel like the way I left originally wasn't really on 100% my terms. The fact that he has his Broken Skull sessions, his little podcast and everything, his show, the fact that he's like, that's my way of still being in the business as well as obviously being part of the WWE family. And also like the fact that he's like, oh, there's plans. No one really has plans outside of WWE. He goes, I tell everyone, make better plans than me. Think long term, because he goes like, I came out and I was like, what am I doing? And that's mostly because of injuries. So
yeah,
I don't know if last year he wasn't in because of a money dispute with Trips and WWE or an injury, because it sounded like there was at one point a surgery he had on his neck or something and then came back. I've been hearing rumors though that the reason they got Undertaker was because Austin asked for too much money to just appear. I don't know if that's true or not. It would have made more sense story wise for Austin, but if it's an injury aspect, then okay. But other than Austin, my whole pitch here is corporation. We get a new corporation. We name it something different other than corporation. I still love some fan made a sign of it in one of the episodes after I saw it online, and I'm like, please, can we just name it this? We might get sued, but please, instead of Make-A-Wish, because that's obviously Cena's thing. I don't know if he's doing Make-A-Wishes anymore now because of his heel turn, but Break-A-Wish, the Break-A-Wish Foundation.
Now that'll be great. I've seen the memes and the videos, and that'll be hilarious to do.
I want
overall,
Rock. I want Cena. I want Rollins. Maybe he came out in the leather vest and pants yesterday, so he feels like that HBK turn.
He put that chair in Roman's back.
He went Plan B. He went Plan B. And then big twist. I think a fourth member is McIntyre.
Honestly, I can see that. I could definitely see that. I'm excited for either way, man. Lackluster build up. I don't care. It's WrestleMania season. I'm hyped as I has ever been for it. I'm grateful to be watching where I'm at right now, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And my God,
is there one
Monday
match out of all of them? Out of all of them, is there one match you look at and go, maybe this shouldn't have been in Mania?
Oh, might be controversial. If I had to pick one that just shouldn't have happened, shouldn't be there,
or could have been pushed off or whatever.
On paper, it looks like Americano and Rey Mysterio, but realistically, honestly, I would be okay with losing Tiffany and Charlotte.
Really? My choice is like, I don't think the World Tag Team Championship, War Raiders versus New Day, needs to be there. It came out of nowhere. I think the only thing that could be the saving grace of this is if New Day wins or whatever, you have Big E come out.
That would be interesting. But
that's
yeah,
the only way I see saving this match.
And the one I'm mainly excited for, which the triple threat is going to be cinema. That's perfect. That is cinema. I'm excited truly to see Jay take home the gold.
Absolutely. I hope he's the first match.
No, it would be great if he was. The way they kind of have it set up, I don't think he will. I think he'll be right before the actual main event, as like the co-main event.
I saw a video of I think yesterday it came out or whatever on YouTube. he did the sneaker video of like going and buying sneakers through like a store that like has all these expensive and rare Jordans and all these other brands and everything. And he spent like over $1,000 on like 3 pairs of sneakers, which I'm like, but like he said, and then right after that, he's like, oh, I can't wait for this. The guy who runs the store was interviewing him throughout the whole thing. Was like, hey, you win, come back and buy these gold shoes or whatever. Like, I need you dripped out. And then right after that, I watched a video tonight before we got on of it's through the WWE YouTube. So after watching us, go over to the YouTube WWE page, and there's a very short video. It's a behind the scenes interview with Jay of him prepping for Monday Night Raw yesterday, getting a haircut and talking, and then flying to Vegas today or yesterday after Raw, and then checking into his WrestleMania hotel suite and like showing it off and like talking or whatever. And he in that video straight up says, I understand if I'm not, but I really hope I start off the night because I want to, set the tone for the night. It was one of those two videos. I want to say it was the WWE one, but watch both of those. They're great. It was a lot of fun.
It will definitely set the tone having him and that pop just set the tone right.
Yes.
So yeah, I do hope it's him too. Again, I'm excited for all of it. Guys, if you've been watching this long, if you come back to it and watch it again, if you stay with us this long, I appreciate that. Are you excited for WrestleMania? And what did you think about Daredevil? Thank you for the 1/2, maybe 3 we had to watch this live throughout this. I appreciate that, really do. Getting back into it, guys. I work overnights now. There's been a lot going on, and I'm focused more on the storytelling channel as Shot Voice Comics. There will be, by the end of June, at least 3 videos dropped, maybe even more. We'll see what happens there. But I do want to get back to the pod. Yes. Well, no, the live streams we'll definitely try to do more often. Definitely me, him, and Joe. Others definitely want to be invited, but the main thing is we're trying to do it live at one of our different places. So expect that to come very soon, probably more towards the summer after we get some more equipment. But the next one will be Thunderbolts the Wednesday after. So that'll be in May. I'm still sticking to doing these once a month because I just have so much other stuff to work on. But anyway, shout out to Joe. Thank you for hopping on earlier. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my homie Nick.
Joe, Italian last name, I believe it is, right?
Joe Italian last name on IG, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Total Justice Gaming. He has really fun
podcast
walkthroughs and gameplays, and of course the Get Bit podcast. Shout out to the homie Will. They're there every Friday. We would have had Will on here tonight, but he is doing his own other podcast, How the Frick Did We Get Here, which is really a question we've been asking ourselves a lot lately.
Yeah.
How do we get here? But anyway, thank you to Nick. I appreciate
literally,
it, as always.
Today is 7 years working in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
April 3rd was when I got here for the first day, and then like a couple days afterwards found my first apartment. But I mean, as much as that is like, oh, my first day, I count this as my first day because this is like you have a job now. So
yeah.
7 years in Nashville.
Wow, man, it's been 7.
Yeah.
You make me feel old now. But yeah, no. Thank you as always for hopping on.
Yep. Casually Cosplay on Instagram. Casual Cosplay in on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. I'm there just mostly retweeting stuff from comic book people and stuff. Mainly that's how I follow leaks and stuff. Rarely really tweet that much, but Instagram is where I go mostly. Obviously search for Casually Cosplaying on TikTok forever, how long that lasts.
Yeah. It's your boy Shadow. Shadow Creative Entertainment, IG, Shadow King Cosplay, IG. All the links to everything will be in the description box below. As always, thanks for watching. May the power protect you. May the force be with you. And as always, have the best day possible. Oh yeah. Also,
Yeah.
we out.